Right, so we don't go in the elevator this time.
Nope.
Don't go in the elevator this time. We still need to find this little girl, so she's in the cavern somewhere.
And we
So
presumably
people-
aren't in a hurry.
I guess not, no. I mean, there's no music, so it's just rattling. Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, so can you go further right than
That's
that?
the dog.
Yes. Can you go further right down there? Ah, there we go. There she is.
Holy hell.
She sacrificed? Looks like a sacrifice. Still alive. The switches. Switches in the clock tower.
Fuck's sake.
No, she is all alone now.
God damn it.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the 3 girls killed off.
Well, how the fuck did we get past the dog now?
The dog.
The dog that jumps the fuck on us if we're not just cultists.
Oh, well, this is the thing now. From what I'm seeing here, like if we've killed off the baby, if you go back into the cavern, right? Now that we've like spoken to Lottie, or Lot, whatever you want to call her, and we killed off the baby, we should be able to get into the elevator with no incidents.
What?
I know, it's weird. It doesn't make sense, but that's what I'm seeing here. Unless we've done something, we fucked up something else in the long run.
Wait, this guy's still there.
Yeah. Well, that one doesn't look to be. Yeah, that one's not actually there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Like it just looks like just going to the elevator now.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, if this doesn't work, then we'll just leave it in the bad ending because fuck that, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's because now we know to go to the clock tower. Maybe because we were stalling in the elevator, we literally got shafted.
Christ.
Oh yes, I see. Yeah, okay, right. So if we go in the elevator now, hopefully this works. Now, so you want to go to the 3rd floor. So in a way, the bad thing that happened still occurs here. It's because now we know where we're going. We didn't just get stuck in the elevator, basically. As you can hear. Here he comes. So climb your ass up that ladder.
Alright, what do I do?
Right. The switches in the clock tower. That's what Lottie said.
Yeah?
Those switches. That's it.
I didn't control anything, it's still auto.
Oh well, okay. Even better. Check this shit. He hated the clock tower. The sound of it moving again. Fits him to his death.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, hello. What's going on here? Oh, shit! Right. Survive. Oh, shit, she got electrified.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
And your husband's next.
Haha. That's it?
Wait, what?
That's it? That's the ending.
You don't kill the husband or just leave him in the cage to
No,
starve?
the husband will die himself. That is it. So, That is, I believe, ending A, B, maybe, whichever one. Yeah, ending A, which I believe is the canonical ending. So, Paul, that's the end of the clock tower. Basically, Jennifer killed off the two sons, killed off Mary Barrows, and left Simon there to rot, basically. So in a way, this is kind of like the, it's like the you killed everyone, but you're also kind of turning evil by doing it ending, which is how like the PS1 Clock Tower game kicks off then, if that makes sense.
With Jennifer going evil?
Kind of. Like the actual S ending is where everyone bar like Lottie is saved. So Lottie is the sacrifice, so you can't save her. But basically, the S ending is where you've contrived that Anne and Laura survive by basically like gimmicking the game in a manner of speaking. So this is definitely a game that like caters to like repeat like attempts and then getting all the endings, because there's 9 in total, and it's just because like, okay, these two are dead now, I'll just go to the car or something like that.
You're saying because Long List clearly the cool one.
Yeah, we didn't see much of her, but yeah, fair.
He didn't see much of any of them.
So yeah,
it's like the best of a pretty shitty bunch.
Yeah, in fairness. So I will say it was a pretty like difficult playthrough, considering that we were kind of like trying to brute force it a bit in one session.
Like difficult in terms of clunky controls and patience.
Yes,
patience.
Like I think considering that like this is on a SNES and like 95, and trying something that on a game console and controls that and programming crucially that really do not suit this type of deal, you know, you can kind of see it, you know, in how you play it. But at the same time, I can also see why people like saw this game and saw like, I've never played anything like this at the time, and then suddenly a whole rake of like come PS1, a whole rake of like survival horrors kick off then, the likes of your Silent Hills and your fucking the sequel to this and Resident Evils and shit. So in a way, this was kind of like the experiment for like a survival horror game. Especially considering like you have a randomized like big enemy that chases you around the place, a health bar that's non-existent, like you don't see it.
So this is the first of its kind.
In a matter of speaking, yeah.
Huh.
Like Alone in the Dark was. You know how Alone in the Dark was like the first of its kind for like a 3D survival horror game. You know.
Well, I suppose like.
In theory,
I guess this is the one where they tried so many new things, some panned out, some didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And like again, in like later games, later series, they refined what it meant to be a survival horror game. This was the, like as I said, the attempt to it, like the actual the goal.
The bleeding cutting edge of progress.
Yes, but the difference was that like, okay, yeah, like granted, we are talking about this like 25 years.
Jeez,
this is 25 years old. So like, yeah, we're kind of like critiquing this through a modern like eye. I don't know what it would have been like for people playing this like back then. I can imagine they freaked the fuck out about it, you know. But I can also see from their point of view, like from our point of view now, like yeah, this is a oblique game at best.
But yeah, I suppose that's just so much progress.
Yeah, exactly. Now, like I said, we're going to be like really, like we were here for what, maybe 3 and a bit hours, so we're going to be really editing down the playthrough just to make it like a suitable watch. But Paul, what would be your thoughts like overall from the game? Did you at least, there wasn't much in plot in terms of the plot, and I would imagine.
I would have liked the more plot. I would have liked something more to get more invested in the characters.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's a fair shout.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that one of them was going to be hard-coded to die. But I did find it interesting that every step he took, something else was going to happen. Like,
yes.
In that time when someone's going to die, you go to the bathroom, go to the main room. I imagine you get something different if you backtracked.
Yeah, you would do, yeah.
So.
Like this is it. Like it is physically possible.
It's basically one of those choose your own adventure type things.
In a way, yeah. Like the way I kind of saw it was that like it is in theory, it's possible to like have saved Anne by not going like you can save Laura by not going into the bathroom and see her strung up in the bath, right? That's possible. It's also possible that you could have saved Anne by not going into the main foyer at that time and see her crash down. It's kind of this weird Schrodinger's way of like killing off characters, where you have to see it happening, you have to witness them, and then they're all right. But then again, like I'm not too sure offhand. Like I think down in the caves then is where you find them. If you have not witnessed them being killed off, you find them down there and you can tell them to escape. Or obviously they probably escape with you when you kill off the big bads. You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way it's supposed to go. Now, I'll probably read out these ones. What are the actual right? So there's a. Trying to read this now. So, as far as I know, we got the A ending. Or sorry, the B ending. The B ending is when Mary gets electrocuted, right? C ending is when basically gets like chased up the tower and Mary falls off, basically. So there's very like even the way Mary dies changes from ending to ending and depends on how you've done over the game, right? So like the S ending is like basically where you've saved we saved like one or two of them. I think it's Anne or Laura, whichever one that wasn't killed up by Scissorman initially. So you do save one person, and it runs after Jennifer, and then you trigger a panic. If you succeed, you don't actually push Mary into the electrical board. What happens is the crows, the crows that you left free.
Oh yeah.
You interact with crows a few times over the game, right? If you interact with all the crows, right? Other crows come in and attack Mary and throw her off the tower. That's why if you saw in the mural that there is a picture of a crow there, right? Because those crows obviously have some reasons to it, but of course that Mary has been sacrificing crows, so yeah, of course it'll be limit. So yeah, that's the S ending, and as far as I know, the one of the boys actually survives. The Barrows boys also survives in S. So basically Jennifer and Edward, I think is the Scissorman. So he actually survives in the S ending.
So I thought Dave was the Scissor one.
Huh?
I thought Dave was the Scissor one.
Yeah, like Ed, the actual pseudonym was Dan, but we find out in like the later games actually his real name is Edward.
Okay.
So it's like one of those where like he was adopted as well, if that makes sense. It's very convoluted. It doesn't really work. Was he survived? He was secretly the head. He's secretly the head Scissorman. Right, that's what it is. That's what the problem is. Yeah, now I see it now. This gets fleshed out a bit in the PS1 game where they kind of revisit this game like a few years later on, where you play as Jennifer again and shit kicks off again. So again, it depends on how essentially you work out. But dying in the elevator there was ending F, where we didn't see Lot die. And because that then we didn't know what to do when we were in the elevator. So we actually got two endings there, which was F and B. The other endings we could have got, right? Ending A is when, as I said there, basically Bobby's killed. Then the other one is dead as well. Ending A is different because we, as part of the game, we get thrown into jail with Simon Barrows, right? There's a secret passage.
If we get thrown into jail with him, do we get killed by him?
We don't get killed by him. We escape together, basically. And he's the one that kills off Lottie instead of the sacrifice.
Huh.
Right? And then he comes in and like fucking kills him off, basically. So like it's almost like there's like a box ticking exercise to see what ending you get, and whatever wins out is what happens, So like in a way, like I like how like that's done in a way, but you can also see with the programming being so one-dimensional as it is, like that is a tough thing to pull off, like, and in the end, like, because we were trying to like follow along a walk through and a video playthrough at the same time and going like, why isn't this working for us? Like, it's telling us to get the lantern. Oh wait, the lantern doesn't matter in this playthrough. Right, fuck it. Let's get the scepter. Oh, the scepter doesn't matter either. Fuck it. Okay, end game. We're actually 10 minutes away from the end. Fuck it. Okay. Like it's odd how it works,
Like it is adventure game logic. Like no, like a choose your own adventure thing.
It is a little bit, but it's also the fact like it's kind of like it's almost like the plot's responding to what you find as well. So it's like the case of, oh, if you go into the bathroom first, well then this character dies. But if you go into this room first, then this character dies. But if, and all this sort of stuff. So it's clever in the way that's done, but it's also the fact like, Jesus Christ.
Well, here's the thing. This kind of remind me of certainly. I know in Telltale role playing games, the GM is going to have like their scenario planned out.
Yeah.
They'll have a number of contingencies. Like certainly, the way a lot of the convention games are written is that, there's start, middle, and end, and the way a lot of them are done is they'll have various encounters that they can plug in wherever in the story. Because players often go miles off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's written well, there'll be a couple of characters thing, and you can plug that in any location.
Just once you see it happens.
Or like this thing hasn't been picked up on. They'll have like redundant MacGuffins.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, ideally, no matter what the players do, they will have a good start, encounter something weird in the middle, and have the ending.
Okay.
And whatever comfort we picked should have the finale. Like that's why a lot of the convention games try to run it.
Yes. Well, and it, again, kind of mixed results depending on who you have in the game as well.
Because a lot of the sometimes a lot of the time players do something you didn't expect.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have to start writing on the fly as you figure out.
What like Jamie has a lot of improv.
Yes, well, that's part of the game, I suppose. But yeah, like in a way, like it tried to do that with like. Cause again, I will happily be proven wrong here in the comment section, but I don't recall any games of this time trying to do that type of multiple ending situation. I know Final Fantasy would have had a bit, but it's a good or bad ending. It's a binary thing.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah. On the SNES, Final Fantasy VI, if you don't kill Kefka at the end, it's a bad ending. And Earthbound, I think, is the same. So, like, either way, like, even RPGs like that, I think even one of the Chrono Trigger games was the same way. Like, you just have a good or a bad ending. Whereas this one, all the endings are relatively nuanced. Like, in a way, like, we may have gone, like, a proper, like, kind of a super violent method with ending B, because, like, we did actually kill both twins and Mary Barrows, and inherently fucking Simon as well. So all the Barrows are dead.
Oh, because he's just left his cage.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, that ending really, really works because like, they killed our dad, so revenge is sweet, you know?
And failed to their friends, so you're alone. You're devoid of friends, but you're also devoid of enemies.
Yeah, so everyone dies except for you in that ending. Whereas you'll see another ending where maybe one of the two girls survives, or somebody else survives, or whatever it is. Essentially, like something different has happened in each ending, you know. And in fairness, there's actually two endings where like you drive off in the car and either you survive or you don't because Scissorman could be in the boot. You know, so it's like all the endings are different in some way, and it depends on how you play. So in that way, I actually quite admire how this game tried it. But at the same time, I can also see like how like when a Resident Evil walks along and does the endings, and Silent Hill walks along and does them so much better with a much better like method of doing it. Granted, we're talking about an SNES game trying to do survival horror for the first time. I'm happy to give them a bit of slack here.
Yeah, that's just.
It's hard for us to judge based off our playthrough because we like admittedly we were clumsy playing it because it was such an old game and we're trying to like apply like our own kind of like systems to it if that makes sense. Like we're trying to play it as we would now.
That's just the issue when you're trying to do something original that no one's done before.
Yeah, this is it.
And then based on what you've done, so many other things that come later and influenced by it. Yeah,
exactly. So in a way, like it's very reminiscent of our Alone in the Dark playthrough, where we kind of like bumbled our way through it a little bit, but at the same time we can kind of see, oh well, this is the first game that's done it.
Yeah,
taking context.
So things that are finite, like like the I guess the modern example is Minecraft. It basically altered how all games happen because what AAA game coming along now doesn't have crafting mechanics.
Yeah, very, very true. And like, let's just look at the sandbox game for fuck's sake. Like, literally every new game is a sandbox in some element. There's very few games that don't have an open world aspect to it now.
Well, some of them, I think those are based off more was it GTA?
Yeah, GTA would have been the driver and then GTA.
GTA it's just was the thing that
Yeah.
and things influenced them and spawned in that way.
Yeah.
But Minecraft example, so much fucking crafting is now because crafting is fun.
But it's funny you should mention this, right? Because I just got a tweet to me there, like this is like Driver, right? The PS1 game Driver, where like it's a game that it's the first game, one of the very few first games that did a 3D sandbox environment where you drive around and do missions, right? And okay, granted, they weren't able to do a free flow of missions in terms of like, here's your mini-map markers, go around to all these and tick them off, right? Couldn't do that, right? But what it did do was it made a hub city, made you drive around on it, and you basically clear out the missions that way. You finish the mission, move on to the next mission. So it was very plot centric. But then GTA 3 came around, and then suddenly, there's your blueprint blown apart. So in a sense that this game is like Driver in that sense, because this one started off, it was a pioneer of this type of genre, and then suddenly Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and then it by itself, Clock Tower kicks in, and there's so many different horror games that take a different spin on it, where it has and now you see the current crop, like the Resident Evil 7 and fucking Outlast and all this stuff, and it's all branched off the different forms of the same horror, you know. And I'm not even counting all the Japanese horror games that are out there as well, like Blood Siren and a few others. So like,
is it Blood Siren or Siren Blood Curse?
Siren Blood Curse. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it.
That's that. Okay, people know that one game that has the second person perspective, where you can see from the enemies.
Yes.
And those that have played long enough know that it has some of the weirdest fucking endings out there.
Oh yeah, and that's my point. You see, like this game proposed that sort of system, and that's where even if the game the actual playthrough is relatively short. I know we didn't really do that justice here, but once you get the hang of it and you know what you're looking for, it is an hour and a half fucking playthrough. But that's what the actual goal then is to try and find all the endings. You're obviously told, if you even press down there, you'll see ending list. It'll tell you what endings you've unlocked. And now it's up to you to try and find A to F and the S ending, which is, I guess, the platinum, maybe, one way of putting it. Even though it's non-canon. It's weird. Anyway, so that's Clock Tower done.
Although I will say for Silent Blood Curse, for context, about the ending. Okay, context is hopeless, but this is wrong, but it's not wrong. To defeat the enemy, first take all of the drugs to get on their level, and then kill them whilst on all of the drugs.
Yes, exactly.
All of them.
So Paul,
yep.
With our playthrough done, there's only one more thing we have to do.
Oh shit, this thing.
Yes. So, you remember our friend Mr. Henry Staff?
Oh,
our own game master here. So,
oh god, this thing.
So again, the powers that be have chosen 3 games for you to select from doors. I guess the doors given to us by our friend here. So Paul, as we let Henry play out here, have you got a number in mind?
This is a 1, 2, and 3 deal.
Yes. So like I said, during this new thing, we've had Sanitarium and Clock Tower. So you have 3 new games, ish. 3 new selections, I should say, from the two rounds we've had. So now it's a matter of you speaking to your heart, seeing what number lies within that cold dead heart of yours. That black, unseething mass of flesh that you call a heart.
Well,
look inside it, and what number do you see?
It'll be 3 because this is the third choice.
Oh, you see, I like the way you think. You want to go for door number 3.
What's behind door number 3?
What's behind door number 3, Paul? And the answer is Deadly Premonition.
Oh dear. I feel I should know what that is.
Deadly Premonition. So,
oh dear.
This is a cult fucking classic. A fatally flawed game at best.
Oh Jesus.
I'll give you. Actually,
no.
it's quite relevant because it just recently got a sequel after several years. This game is actually 10 years old. Okay.
No.
Have you seen Twin Peaks?
No.
Right. That's your first job, is to watch Twin Peaks. Get back to me on that. So, Deadly Premonition is an open-world survival horror video game developed by Access Games, set in the fictional rural American town of Greenville, Washington. The story follows FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan as he investigates the murder of an 18-year-old woman, which bears similarities to a series of murders across the country. Released 10 years ago, and yeah, it even says here in the Wiki Bloxburg, a cult classic, even though it's ranked 6 out of 10 everywhere in the world. Deadly Premonition received widely varying critical reviews and holds the Guinness World Record for the most critically polarizing survival horror game.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you have selected a fucking humdinger, my friend. A humdinger of a game.
Oh, fucking Christ.
I think it will be...
For serious, has the Mandalorian given you a review of that?
Probably. I would not be surprised. Let's see.
Those are game reviews. I noticed that the Monday Madness channel is doing some reviewing now.
We have been doing a lot of reviewing lately, actually, and it's been going exceptionally well.
Yes, I recently watched the most recent one about a very modern game.
It is, exactly, yeah. I mean, maybe we should, while we're stalling for time here, as I load up the trailer for Deadly Premonition, you should tell us all about the recent Madness reviews of Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes, I had a look at it. I timestamped at least one Ask Creed reference, but I think the second one slipped by me there. So I stamped that. Neil, I think did a pretty solid job.
Good. That's what he wants to hear.
Really
Self-praise.
Everything was articulated well. No stuttering, a good flow of words, none of the word diarrhea that I'm so fond of.
Yes, that's certainly one way of putting it. It's the best way of putting it.
There's definitely something in this town. You feel it, Zach? Coffee warm. That's it. Tomorrow you will arrive in a place that will change your fate.
What is really happening here in Greenvale?
Zach, it's all starting to come together.
Is it a scary story?
Haven't been this emotional in a long time.
Of course, weird costume choices.
Yes. Well, this is the trailer for when it goes into the good old games, so this is not like the full-blown trailer, but it's a notion of it.
So, do you get to choose weird costumes?
Yes.
Weird costumes? Like, you have to beat the game at doesn't time before we get them, or what?
I have no idea. I think it's just for the PC version that, like, got the, like, it's like a redux of it. Yeah, they have it. I picked the director's cut trailer.
Do you remember what the coffee said?
Please tell me we're doing that. We're actually playing that, or are we playing original nonsense?
Funny you mention that, actually. I have it for the PS3. It got ported to the PS3. That's what we're going to be playing it on. Again, you can't see it on screen, folks, but Paul has a shit-eating grin on his hands. Because he knows he's just picked a fucking humdinger right now.
It would be so bad if you just like put everyone in silly costumes. But if we have to unlock every one of them that doesn't play through, that would just suck.
To be fair, I think, as of the reputation I know of this game, I think we'll have plenty of content to go with with the normal suits involved. Trust me on that one.
I'm sorry, the sheer amount of grinding you have to do to unlock Quiet's actual normal soldier for this fucking ridiculous.
What, are you saying you didn't want tits in your YouTube in your video game? What the hell is wrong with you, Paul? Are you even the man with a functional penis? Don't answer that question. No one wants to know. So, that is.
No, honestly, I didn't actually play that game for that long at all.
No, that's fair. Don't think anything.
I got pretty fucking sick of it.
Yeah, in fairness, I don't blame you. So anyway, that is our end of our Clock Tower playthrough. When we come back in the Paul of Cthulhu series, we're going to be playing Deadly Premonition.
God damn it.
And yeah, Paul, I think it's fair to say we're gonna have to fucking stream that. I'm afraid. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's gonna have to go out live.
Oh boy.
So stay tuned on Twitch and on YouTube for that one in particular, because boy, I am really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that.
I'm wondering, was any British behind every door?
Yes. But have you drank the coffee yet, Paul?
I drank all the tea, not the coffee.
That's close enough. Okay, so
oh boy.
Thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time on Paul of Cthulhu. Until then.
See you.